All right. It is 7:05 p.m. on October 15th. I'm Michelle Rehill, and I'm calling the Board of Library Trustees meeting to order. I will begin by reading the governor's advisory about remote meetings. The open meeting of the Library Board of Trustees is being conducted remotely pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2022, an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency, signed into law on March 29th, 2023. All members of the Library Board of Trustees are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The act allows the Library Board of Trustees to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless the chair notes otherwise. Members of the public who wish to view the live stream of this meeting may do so by going to Northborough Remote Meetings on YouTube via the link listed on the agenda. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will not feature public comment. I will now conduct the roll call attendance. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Brittany Burns.
Brittany Burns here.
Mitch Cohen is not here. Pat Fonts.
Pat Fonts here.
Jim Hogan.
Jim Hogan is here.
Jocelyn McHeleny is not here at this time. Hope she'll join us. Beth Samus.
Beth Samus here.
Richard Tucker is not here. And I, Michelle Rehill, obviously am here. We also have with us tonight Library Director Jen Bruneau and Assistant Library Director Caitlin Stacy. All right, now we got all of that paperwork out of the way. I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the September 10th and the September 17th library trustee meetings. Would someone like to make that motion?
I move that we approve the minutes of the September 7th, September 10th, and September 17th meetings.
Thank you, Pat. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Brittany. Are there any questions, comments, or anything about the minutes of those two meetings? Seeing none, I will do a roll call to accept the minutes of the September 10th and September 17th minutes. All those in favor, Brittany?
Brittany Burns, aye.
Pat Fonts?
Pat Fonts, aye.
Jim Hogan?
Jim Hogan, aye.
Beth Samus?
Beth Samus, aye.
And Michelle Rehill also votes in favor of accepting the minutes. Motion carries in the affirmative, and it's a unanimous vote. All right. Moving on to the FY25 appropriations report, which I seem to have lost somewhere on my desk. It is.
Oh, it came in under separate, under something called budget FY25.
Yes, I did get it. I just misplaced it.
Oh.
I don't know why. Did anyone have any questions about that? I see lots of shaking of heads. So if there are no questions about that, we will move on to the library director's report.
Does anybody have any questions for me?
I love that you highlighted some of the patron interactions. I thought that was kind of nice.
That was I was gonna ask if everybody liked that. Because if you like it, we'll keep doing it.
I was gonna add the same thing.
Jim, were you going to say something?
Well, I think it's a good feature. I'd like to see it continue. I enjoyed it.
Awesome.
Ditto. Um, I want to, wait, just want to mention that one of the things you put in here that is for our next meeting that will be in October, you want to have the health and wellness consultant join us.
Yes.
So that will be an agenda item for next month.
Yes. I don't have, I don't know what else will come up this month, but I don't have a lot of other things for the November meeting. So I thought maybe that could be the bulk of it. Is just to have Maura come in and talk about the results of the survey and kind of like the trends that we're seeing. And then kind of dive in deeper to get your opinion on some other things that have come up and try to help shape that strategic plan that she's working on. So it would be she's doing a couple other focus groups with us. So it would be one of, I think, 5 that we're setting up, 1 with the friends and then 3 for the general public. So, and it's up to you if you want to have that virtually or in person, because she will be in Massachusetts. So if you want to do it in person, we could be on site.
Okay. How do people feel about what's the date? It's going to be November 12th. Right, that would be our next meeting. How do people feel about having an in-person meeting? Since I think we were supposed to be in person this month and I sidetracked us.
Might be nice to do an in-person meeting before the winter really gets going. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind an in-person meeting.
Fine with that.
I'm
Okay,
fine with it. Yeah.
sounds like a swell idea. Alrighty.
I did have one quick question about the report that I forgot as I was getting distracted by all the good stories again. I noticed the September programs numbers were blank at the top. Was
Oops.
that just an oversight?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. That's my
Sorry, we
mistake.
had
I will
no
include them.
programs in September. but-
Yeah. I was like, I don't think that could possibly be true. But okay.
That's my fault. I will include them in the next report. So you'll get
No
to.
worries.
I thought it was just like, yep, we had adult, we had teen, we did this, we did that. I forgot to make the note and say, Jen, is something missing?
I was partly sidetracked by Donna's retirement, which is the next line down.
Okay. Yeah,
I made
so
the mistake on the September 10th meeting of telling you that we were fully staffed. So of course I brought this on myself.
have you started advertising the position yet?
Yes. I believe we've gotten about, I would say 12 to 15 applications. There's 3 more sitting in my inbox that I have to send out. So it's a good number for a 19-hour-a-week position.
We got some good people.
Yes.
I'm sure we will. Sorry. Shouldn't say that. All right. So we asked about the missing numbers. I think that unless there are any other questions, we can move on to the new business, which would be the library early closure days. On Wednesday, November 27th and Thursday, December 31st, we would close at noon. That would keep us in line with the rest of the town offices and departments. The select board voted to close those departments at noontime. So that needs to be a motion, right?
Quick
Yes.
question. I thought last year I thought we voted to just always align with the time. Am I remembering this incorrectly? Anyone else remember? Am I just crazy?
No, that sounds
remember.
familiar.
It sounds familiar now that you say it.
Now that you say that, we had spoken earlier, and like, because they had sent out something from, Tim had sent out something saying that they were doing it and closing at noon on the 24th. And Jen said, oh, because I double checked that one, and she said, oh yeah, we had already agreed that we were going to close at noontime because that's what they keep doing. And maybe, and I said, yes, well, I just wanted to check with you. I knew you would know. And I was sadly being too lazy to go back through all of my
Mhm.
old minutes and such to find out what we did. So I think perhaps, Brittany, your memory is correct.
I feel like we had the same conversation around Thanksgiving and holiday closures
Yeah.
last year, but maybe we could word it into a motion so we know for sure this time. Could we make that happen?
Yeah, and I'll also find a way to put that somewhere so that the next time this happens, we remember that we did vote to just automatically change that. Because otherwise next year you'll be like, I'm pretty sure this is the third time we've done this.
I just feel like it's easier for your planning. Then as soon as you hear it, you can communicate with staff and all of that.
Right.
Okay, I could use some help on the wording, like to have library holiday early closures align with the early closures of other departments as voted by the select board.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Yeah, that sounds
I would
right.
say for all holidays.
Oops. Okay. To have library
So
early.
they do things, 4th of July comes up and
Mhm.
et cetera, and
Mhm. Yeah.
it should just be aligned with the town on every event.
Oh, see, last time it was, should the select board not vote to close town offices early, the library will still close early. So we went against.
You
Okay.
could always do that.
Right, because
Mhm.
we close at 3. Our policy is to close at 3 the day before certain holidays. So the administrative days are not always a given. Um, hmm,
So I think what we're saying is we just agree to align the library's early closure with the town building's early closure on any holidays.
yes.
That would cover it.
But yeah, I guess the question is, because this is the question that came up last year, was if the town doesn't close early, can the library still?
Yes, but I think we'd have to do that on a case by case basis,
Yeah.
right?
Gotcha. So this is kind of that unanimous, if we're covered unless there's a situation where that falls outside.
Mhm.
Works for me. I just don't want us to accidentally make the library stay open if everyone else, just because everyone else is.
Yeah.
We're gonna have sad staff.
Yeah, right.
What was that little so we want to align library early closures with other town offices for unless, so I think you were just reading it, weren't you, Beth?
No, so I was reading the one from last year, which is actually different from what we're proposing right now.
Do you want
What is the language of that one, Beth? Did it say that we'll always align unless we vote otherwise?
No, so let's see. I'm assuming I'm in the right one because this is the one where we're discussing early closures for 2023.
Yeah.
So we said, I move to allow the library to close early on Wednesday, November 22nd, in alignment with any decision of the select board to close other town offices early. Should the select board not vote to close town offices early, the library will keep to its previously determined hours of operation.
So that was just for that one day last year.
Yep. And then Jen presented the board for a full, a list of full and early closures for 2024. So we already voted on this.
Mhm.
Right,
Uh,
so those two were 3 PM closures.
I see what you're saying. Yep.
So what I could do, if it's easier, is you could vote on these two changes from 3 PM to noon. And then when we present our holiday closures for fiscal or for calendar year 2025, I can work in some kind of note that says if the select board adds an administrative day or administrative time,
Or changes the
that
closure time.
we will align with that closure time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that would give me some
Yeah.
opportunity to wordsmith it.
Yeah,
I found the wording.
Oh,
I
you
found
did?
the wording, yes. Let me dig it out for you. It said, this is from the minutes a year ago. I move to allow the library to close early on Wednesday with any decision, Wednesday, let me just expand this out, November 22nd, 2023, in alignment with any decision of the select board to close other town offices early. Should the select board, excuse me while I just try to expand
I
this.
think this is the one Beth
That's the
just
one I
read to
just
us.
read, Pat. Yeah.
Okay, that was just for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, it was just that one day.
Should the select board not vote to close town offices early, the library will keep to its previously determined hours of operation.
That's when we were waiting to see if they were gonna do it for the
Mhm.
holiday or
Right,
not. Yeah.
okay,
Because
we
their
were waiting
meeting
for
was
them, okay,
after our meeting.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
I like your plan, Jen. I think it's simple and clean, and then
Yeah,
that could
yeah.
just kind of be our procedure
Yeah, keep
moving
it easy.
forward, that we
Yeah.
include that language.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I always like time for wordsmithing.
Yeah.
Just so that like when other people read it, it makes sense. And
Mhm.
like, and then it's in a place where we'll see it
hmm
next year because all the holiday early closures happen in this time of the year. And then we have 6 months or 7 months where there's nothing.
hmm
So,
And then we can kind of post that language too on the website or wherever you guys do ahead of time, so it's clearer for the public too.
Yep.
That that's the procedure. So Michelle, do you want us to make the original motion then?
The original, just for these two dates, the administrative days. Yes.
yes.
How about I decided not to wait until the last minute. I wrote it out. I don't know if I made sense when I was writing it. Move to close the library at noon on November 27th and December 31st to be in alignment with other town offices.
So moved.
Seconded.
All right, oops, wait a minute.
Hold it.
Brittany?
Brittany moved, Beth seconded.
Brittany moved.
And Jim, I will email you the official wording that I used, if that will
Thank
help
you.
you.
Thank you.
All right. So the motion on the floor is to close at noon, November 27th and 31st, to be in alignment with other town offices. All those in favor of this motion? Brittany,
Brittany Burns, aye.
Pat,
Pat Bonsai,
Jim,
Tim Hogan, aye.
Beth,
Beth Thomas, aye.
Michelle Weasel also votes aye. Motion carries unanimously in the affirmative. Thank you. And then, do we need to make a motion for you to swap the professional development days?
I think because we would be closing early on the 14th of November, which is not something that you had previously approved. I think there does need to be a motion, not so much on the canceling the early closure because we're going from a short day to a full day, but I assumed or would like board approval just to swap it.
Okay,
I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
definitely.
Well, okay, so
Why
it just
not?
started. Sorry, did I miss someone? Something, all right. I made a motion I made it. Pass it this one. But maybe it doesn't have to be this one. Motion to close the library at 2 p.m. on November 14th for Staff Development Day, and for the library to be open its regular hours on the original Staff Development Day of December 12th.
So
Second.
moved.
Wait, who made a motion? I read the motion. I don't make the motion.
I made the motion.
Okay,
You may, thank you, Beth.
Yeah.
Oops.
Who seconded?
Pat, did you second?
yes, I did.
Okay, so Beth made the motion to accept Beth moved it and Pat seconded it. All those in favor of the motion to close the library at 2 on November 14th for staff development, and for the library to be open its regular hours on the original staff development day of December 12th. All those in favor, Brittany?
Brittany Burns, aye.
Oops. Pat,
Pat Bonsai,
Jim,
Aye.
Beth,
Beth Thomas, aye.
and Michelle Wehill says aye. Motion passes unanimously in the affirmative. Did I do it? That's like redundant, isn't it? All right. Is there any other business that may come before the board at this time? Seeing none. The next meeting will be November 12th, 2024 at 7 p.m. The meeting will be in person at the library. So, if there is nothing else, the chair would welcome a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved. Oh, I'll second.
All right, so Jim moved, Brittany seconded. All right, all those in favor of adjourning the meeting, Brittany,
Brittany Burns, aye.
Pat,
Pat Bonsai,
Jim,
Tim Hook and I.
Beth,
Beth Thomas, aye.
and I, Michelle Wehill, also vote in the affirmative. The meeting is adjourned at 7:28 p.m.
Hi, Kate.
Thank you very much. And good night, Kate.
Take care.